It was a whirlwind.
Much different show today. Yeah. Steve Burns, I'm Danielle Trotta. NASCAR called a press conference at 8 p.m. Eastern last night. The move was unprecedented, and subsequently, the biggest penalty in our sport's 65-year history was handed down to Mw.Racin.
And Danielle, despite the severity of the penalties, some are wondering if NASCAR went far enough. Bottom line, Martin Truex Jr. has lost his spot in the chase, and he's been replaced by Ryan Newman. Now, MW.R. was busted for actions detrimental to stock car racing. All three cars, the 15, the 55, and the 56, penalized with 50 driver and owner points. These point penalties were assessed after Saturday night's race and will not impact the chase seating. Now, MW.R. has also been fined $300,000. Vice President and General Manager Ty Norris has been suspended indefinitely, and all three crew chiefs are on probation until December 31st. NASCAR President Mike Helton spoke last night about the severe sanctions levied against Mw.Racin.
Yeah, this naturally is a very significant reaction from NASCAR. As multiple car owners have become a very positive, integral part of our sport, also comes with it, though, responsibility from NASCAR and as well the car owners to maintain a fair and level playing field. The reaction from NASCAR is to Mw.Racin and every team in his organization, but the collection of all the information we collected from Saturday night led us to the team-wide reaction as opposed to an individual car. There's not conclusive evidence that the 15 spin was intentional. The most clear was the direction that the 55 driver was given and the confusion around it, and then the conversation following that occurrence. That's the most clear piece of what we found through looking at all of the detail that led us to make the conclusion. It's a message from the league or the sanctioning body saying you can't do this. Every now and then it gets out of bounds, and we have to bring it back in order to maintain credibility.
NASCAR warned teams before Saturday's race to play fair, and although NASCAR says they could not find conclusive evidence that Clint Bowyer's spin was intentional, well, it certainly changed the makeup of the chase. So, was the move premeditated or a split-second decision with poor signal calling? Here's a replay of the 15 teams' communications at Richmond with just 7 laps to go.
Come on, Edwards is going to win. I don't know, man. Newman's closing on him. Right now they're tied for the last spot. You're clear by 2 on this 13. Pressure tires. 39 is going to win the race. Well, that kind of sucks. 9 more right here. Is your arm starting to hurt? I bet it's hot in there. Inches. Oh, yeah. Right with you, 88. Right with you. Right with you. Right with you. Bring it to me this time. Bring it to me this time. Pit, Clint. Pit. Don't speak. Damn, we didn't need to finish the last.
Mike Helton said, quote, "There's not conclusive evidence that the 15 spin was intentional," unquote. More egregious, or perhaps the so-called smoking gun, was the conversation that took place late in that race between Ty Norris and driver Brian Vickers.
Staying out. Staying out. We raced anyone directly in front of us, so we have a chance to pass. If not, I'd say we lay back on the restart. We're probably going to pit here on green. We got to pit. You talking to me? We got to pit? Yeah, we're going to pit. We're going to pit. What? Yeah, I've got to. I don't understand. Pit right now? Pretty fast. You got to pit this time. We need that 1 point. So I got a tire going down? Yes. Guys, get a look at it. Get a look at it. I'll see you after the race, Brian. How are you? Pit.
It's important to note here that the 50-point penalty will not affect Clint Bowyer in the chase seating. However, the 50-point penalty levied against Martin Truex Jr. dropped him from 12th to 17th in points, which allowed Ryan Newman to enter the chase. So the new point standings for the chase, which begins this weekend at Chicagoland Speedway, has Matt Kenseth out in front based on his series-leading 5 wins. Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch both scored 4 wins. They're 3 points behind Johnson. Bowyer, who failed to win in the regular season, well, he's 15 points behind in Kenseth in 8th.
Here's Stewart-Haas Racing co-owner Tony Stewart's reaction after the penalty was issued. Quote, NASCAR was put in a very difficult position Saturday night at Richmond, and we commend the sanctioning body for taking the time to do the necessary due diligence to ensure that the right call was made, unquote. Fox Sports Live spoke with Ryan. Here's what he had to say.
Obviously, I was kind of furious, but in the end, I didn't know what was going to happen, what NASCAR was going to do, or, even what I could do. I'm thankful for the decision that was made. I'm thankful, because it affected me in such a good way. That situation and the way everything unfolded changed everything.
All right, so now we're caught up on most of the details. Our Bob Dillner and Nate Ryan from USA Today Sports join us. Nate, I'll ask you first. Did NASCAR get this right? Did they do the right thing?
I think they got it half right, Steve. And what I mean by that is not necessarily the fact that of the two aggrieved drivers here by the Michael Waltrip Racing orchestration, Ryan Newman and Jeff Gordon, only Newman got dispensation, got in the chase, Gordon being left out. I think you can give NASCAR some credit for the fact that this was the biggest penalty in history, and that it's going to send a message to teams that this should be somewhat of a deterrent. But what I think was missing in Monday night's announcement was there wasn't assurances from NASCAR and President Mike Helton that this won't happen again. Essentially, for me, the overarching message being sent to teams was, if you're going to manipulate races, be smarter about the cover-up than Michael Waltrip Racing was.
I think they got it right, because this is a huge penalty. It has so many different ramifications, too, even for the team itself, with a lot of money involved. And I think it will deter teams from doing this in the future. And think about this. NASCAR does not want to play the major factor in the outcome of the race. And then we still have 7 laps to go in that race. Anything could have happened to Jeff Gordon. He's one of the best ever to grace the wheel of a stock car. But at the same time, we don't know what would have happened. And think about this. For NASCAR to get Clint Bowyer out of the chase and for Jeff Gordon to be in, they would have had to have penalized him 79 points. That's quite substantial. So honestly, this is huge. I think they got it right.
Yeah.